Welcome in, Slaughterhouse Wrestling fans. We are here tonight in Portland, Oregon, surrounded by 300 or so screaming fans here at Chief Dave's Custom Slaughtering, bringing you Slaughterhouse 6 cage-free meat. I am Warren Peace, joined by my friend Johnny Napkins here. Johnny, how are you doing tonight?
Warren, I am doing excellent. I'm excited to be here in Portland, Oregon, in front of all of these screaming Slaughterhouse wrestling fans. Folks, we took a little bit of a break for a few weeks, but we are back and better than ever with Slaughterhouse 6. And I cannot wait to see some of this action tonight, Warren.
Yeah, Johnny, I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be back and finally be back in front of all these fans, and excited to see some Slaughterhouse Wrestling action. And goodness gracious, we could not have just a more amazing card tonight. Like some of these wrestlers, we're getting to see some debuts, we're getting to see some hardcore matches, and we might see someone walk away from the wrestling, from the company tonight. That could potentially happen.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Warren. High stakes tonight. Stakes could not be higher. Folks, there are no titles on the line tonight, but up and down the card, we are going to see some great action, some debuts, some hardcore matches, and we're kicking things off with Malachi Hades, the newest member of Supreme, taking on Nightmare of Behold a Dark Horse fame. Both competitors starting to get their feet wet here in Slaughterhouse. Malachi Hades making his debut tonight. And Ward, what do you make of this match?
Honestly, we've seen a lot of Nightmare. We've seen a lot of Nightmare. The only thing we haven't really seen from him is a W. He's been in a number of really high-profile matches, I will say, in his young Slaughterhouse Wrestling career, but we have yet to see him get over that hump, and I'm really thinking he's going to kind of bring it to Hades, welcome him into Slaughterhouse Wrestling with a nice beatdown. But honestly, both of these guys, have something they want to prove to get started in this league, and I can't wait for it, honestly.
Definitely agree with you there, Warren. Supreme has been such an insular kind of group. The three of them have their own very strong dynamic, and I am excited to see what Malachi Hades brings to the table there. Supreme has been such a dominant faction for so long, and maybe this is their way of branching out a little bit, including a little more spice in their lineup. Malachi dresses a little differently, wrestles a little differently, just looks different on the outset. And we've joked so many times that Supreme's name is truth in advertising. They are the Supreme group here. But maybe Malachi is what they need to actually gain total dominance.
Yeah, you got that right, Johnny. And I think that's what they want to see from him in his first match ever here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And in the next match of the evening, we have Badman versus Black Snow, guys that have been doing, both of these guys have been doing a lot of talking. Badman actually just joined Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and he has been non-stop with the talk, but I will say this guy is, from the streets, he has never lost a match in his indie days, so I'm very curious how that's going to translate to maybe some success here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, especially going up against, in his first match, an established talent like Black Snow.
Yeah, we could talk all day about Badman's indie career, the fact that he grew up on the streets, in street fights, never lost a fight in his life, according to him. But this is Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and this is Black Snow's playground. He has run absolutely roughshod over singles competitors, tag teams. He was the one that drug the Bankrollers to their first ever victory. He has been a force to reckon with here in Slaughterhouse, and a win over him would be everything for Badman.
Yeah, you've got that right. Got that right, Johnny. And also, kind of in the background of this, we've heard a lot of talk about the Bankrollers considering auditioning someone new into their faction, with obviously Jason Waterfall's match pending tonight, to see what the outcome will be with that. It looks like they're looking for some fresh blood, maybe get something new to the group, and they've obviously had success with Black Snow. He does have a leg up on Badman. He has wrestled with the Bankrollers and actually gotten them to a win, which I know is going to factor into their decision should they ultimately make one. But I think the Bankrollers should be paying close attention to this match here tonight to see who comes out on top.
Definitely. That group, they've had some ups and downs, mostly downs, not too many ups, and they have come to the realization that with the dissolution of Limitless, this is an opportune time to get someone else on their side. Maybe someone who can win a little more. Maybe someone who could bring some fresh blood to the team. And they've got their eye on Badman and someone else that we'll talk a little bit tonight. But speaking of valuable wins, we are going to have both semifinal matches of the Slaughterhouse Hardcore Title Tournament. The first of which is going to be a barbed wire title match, a barbed wire hardcore match between Tyler Blades and Forged in Fire champion. Tyler Blades making his comeback in the hardcore title tournament. Haven't seen a lot of him lately. And Forged in Fire finding some singles success after potentially a disappointing loss against Supreme in a tag title match. But I am excited to see what these two men can do with this hardcore title stipulation. I am expecting a lot of blood in this with Warren.
Yeah, honestly, Janet is going to get her paycheck's worth here tonight. Obviously, Janet is our friend's, our mom's friend who happens to be a nurse who also is contractually bound to Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Finally, we got her in the building. This hardcore title tournament, I think, has been great for her. But, Tyler Blades, he was a guy that, kind of showed up really early on with the initial tournaments and kind of made a name for himself, but then just disappeared, came back out of nowhere, ends up beating the Maniac, in the first round of the hardcore title tournament. And now he's taken it to Forged in Fire champion and established talent. This guy has been fighting week in and week out and, beating Jason Waterfalls in his first match himself. And both of these guys would like it to make it to the finals. But I got to say, with that barbed wire stipulation, I'm very worried about these guys and what might happen in this ring tonight.
Oh, of course. Two absolutely violent men going at it. Two men who have not been afraid. Tyler Blades got the first ever win in Slaughterhouse victory with a knockout. He almost killed a man in his first match just to advance the tournament. That is how bad he wants that win. And Forged in Fire champion, one of the most athletic guys we have. He pulls out moves every single match that I don't even know the names of sometimes. But when he is in the ring with Tyler Blades, he has to consider that absolutely violent edge he is going to have in a match like this.
Yeah, you got that right, Johnny. And in the next match of the evening, we have Dank Poopstain taking on STO. Both of these guys had pretty good success in tag matches, but on the singles side, they really haven't done it as much as I feel like both of these guys are kind of hoping to, with the tag division actually being kind of wide open right now. It's kind of surprising both of these guys are kind of looking for more singles action, but that's exactly what they're doing here tonight, and they're kind of, got opposite styles of wrestling, but I got to tell you, I cannot wait for this match. Both of these guys are talented as hell. They're both athletic. STO's got that crazy strength, but also that weird speed. I don't know any other way to describe that weird speed he's got.
Oh no, STO moves like a man his size should never move. It's surprising to me every time I see it. It's honestly a little shocking sometimes. But yes, you are completely right. That is his main advantage going into this match against Dank Poopstain. And you're right that the tag division is wide open, Warren, but you've got to consider these are two guys that have been considered, and I don't want to say this to offend anyone, kind of the lackey in their tag groups. Dong Michael's gone on to some single success. We're going to talk about that in a second. And Black Snow, like we've said, run roughshod over people, getting those wins. STO and Dank Poopstain, while they've had some varying levels of success, to my knowledge, on the Slaughterhouse numbered shows, have not gotten a win in singles competition. So this is everything to them. One of these men is going to walk away with the win and prove that they belong in their respective stables. So I totally get it, and I really cannot wait to see this match. You're right that it's a little bit of a style mismatch, but hey, that's what makes Slaughterhouse Wrestling work.
Yeah, you said it, Johnny. I mean, honestly, it's going to be a great match of the evening. I expect it to be one of the top-tier matches, and with the Contenders match being later on in the evening, both of these guys have a chance with a strong, convincing win to move up the rankings themselves. But in the next match of the evening, we have Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi taking on Lucifer Valeska in the next round of the hardcore title tourney. They are going to be fighting in a landmine match, which is a match where we will not be ringside. It is so dangerous. We will actually be probably as far up as we can get here at Chief Dave's Custom Slaughtering Arena. Both of these guys, I don't want to say surprised with their first round wins. Big Bucks, I know that he kind of stepped away for a little while, kind of reworked. his style of fighting to kind of change it up for Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Got the first win. Might have been questionable tactics for how he got that win.
I was going to say, Warren, I hate to interrupt you here, but you really gussied that up. Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi won his first round match by testicular claw. For those folks out there that don't know what that means he grabbed his opponent's balls, to use the medical term, so hard that he gave up. And it's a hardcore match. Anything is legal. I get it. We're swinging chairs. We're throwing people into landmines. But God bless. I do not envy Lucifer Valeska in this match.
Yeah, and Lucifer Valeska already had to deal with some crazy on his end in the first round, taking on Frank the Trashman Reynolds in a surprising win that I don't think anybody saw coming. I mean, the Trash Man had been tearing up Slaughterhouse Wrestling left and right, and then comes out and loses in the first round of a tournament I think a lot of us felt might have been tailor fit for him.
Definitely agree with you there, Warren. It was a first round upset. Did not see it coming, and it threw this bracket into, I don't want to say disarray, but definitely where no one expected it to be. And on the other side, Ricky changing up his style, as you so eloquently put it, meant that he got his first ever singles win too. Kind of an upset in that area as well. So these are two men that I don't think anyone expected to be in this position, but they have absolutely earned their spot.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, Johnny. And then in the next match, we have Supreme taking on Exotic Husbands in a non-title tag match. Something, Supreme has come off some pretty fantastic, title defenses and also just demolishments. I mean, I don't know if that's a word. If it's not, I just made it up. But they have been able to destroy anything and everything in their way. And the Exotic Husbands have fought them so many times. Now they're kind of throwing a bit of a curveball their way, sending out Lavernius Bimpson and Mandy Hamilton to see what maybe they can do against Supreme. Maybe kind of, turn it around for them. That's maybe even a surprising win. Once again, the titles are not on the line for this match, though.
Yeah, Warren, they are looking for a surprise win here. A surprise win for Bimpson and Hamilton means that they would be next in line for that title shot. This division is absolutely wide open, and pinning the champions, even if it's in a non-title match, is the way you absolutely make a statement here. And that is what they're looking for. Bimpson and Hamilton have been a little up and down in success as a tag team, but I feel like, personally, my feelings on this, they're a little unproven here still. We've seen a lot of Lavernius, especially. Mandy Hamilton, still a little bit of a question mark, a little bit of a mystery, and this might be the match where they can gel together, pull it together, and really shock the world.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how it's going to go. We really haven't seen too much of, what kind of teamwork they might show out there. Obviously, we've seen Supreme so many times, I can't even count. We know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go out there and beat the hell out of the Exotic Husbands. But Mandy Hamilton had some surprising wins early on, and Lavernius Bimpson has been hit or miss, obviously losing in the first round to Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi of the hardcore title tourney. So I'm kind of, this is my biggest wild card kind of question mark of the night. Like, how is this match going to go? It's either going to be, a 9-minute match where somebody gets KO'd in in 9 minutes, and it's probably going to be Supreme KOing somebody else. But, you never know with these kind of matches.
You really never know, Warren. Speaking of not knowing, God, this is the biggest question mark on the whole card. Don't go Jason Waterfalls, putting his career on the line for one more match. I don't want to be offensive again. Potentially the most losingest member of Slaughterhouse Wrestling, not winning a single match on any card unless Black Snow was there with him. And he's finally had enough. He wants one last match or he will leave the Slaughterhouse. And that challenge was answered by his stable leader, Big Money Marty. Marty says he is doing this for Jason's own good, wants to put him out to pasture so that he doesn't get hurt anymore and does not embarrass the bankrollers anymore. Warren, tensions are high, emotions are running wild. I have no idea what we're going to see in this match.
Yeah, honestly, Johnny, I don't even know what to say. This is such a surprising turn of events, honestly, from, our standpoint. We kind of come out here, we watch some wrestling, we say some fun things about it. But, don't go Jason Waterfalls. Out of everyone in the Bankrollers, he's probably had the most training. This guy's been wrestling for as long as I can remember. I mean, the Cowboy, obviously kind of a bigger specimen, somebody who's expected to be the muscle of the group, Big Money Marty and, Ricky Big Bucks kind of bringing the money for the group to kind of afford everything. But Don't Go Jason, obviously one of the better guys on the mic for the entire Slaughterhouse Wrestling, I would say, but also definitely has the talent. I mean, this guy has the talent. He has everything to be a star here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but he just can't put a win together. It's what's really kind of plagued the Bankrollers since they joined Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But having to fight, a former tag team partner, a former, someone he's trained with, someone he's very familiar with his fighting style, is going to be something that, there's going to be a lot of emotion in this match. There's going to be a lot of story. It's going to be something that I think we're going to feel here tonight in this crowd. So I don't know what to expect. I really do hope that Jason comes out on top. Big Money Marty, he is a big talent, got the big bucks, not Ricky Big Bucks, but he's got the big bucks himself. So, I'm curious how this is going to go.
Absolutely, Warren. I don't want to take up too much more time with this match, but I will say that Jason Waterfalls, out of my experience talking to the Slaughterhouse Wrestling locker room, cares about wrestling maybe more than anyone else here. The art of it, the sport of it, the finesse of it. And for him to put his title on the line means that he is so disappointed in himself. This means everything to him. And maybe by tonight, we won't see Jason anymore. But in our last two matches, two firsts here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, our semi-main event, I almost said our first match of the evening. Our semi-main event, a 4-way number 1 contenders match, first ever here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling. All of the ranked contenders besides who will be in our main event. That includes Thomas Noble, Jabroni, Dong Michaels, and Victor Hill in a 4-way elimination match. These are 4 absolute titans of Slaughterhouse Wrestling, all going to be going at it for the same prize, a shot at Walnut and his title. This will be chaotic, this will be hectic, but by the end of it, we are going to have a definite answer as to who is the top dog here at the Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and honestly, this is something I never thought we would see here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling. I'm beyond glad we do get to, though. All 4 of these guys, just phenomenal talents here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. All of them have fantastic wins behind them, great, title challenges, in their past. I just can't wait to see which one of these guys eventually gets to take on Walnut, which is something I don't think many people actually are very interested in doing. But honestly, out of the 4 of them, I do think I kind of think Dong Michaels would be the guy personally. I think him or Thomas Noble. Thomas Noble is just a fantastic athletic specimen. The guy, 4 Heismans, 3 national championships. Still haven't gotten the full story about that. Maybe we will one day. But I think either Dong Michaels or Thomas Noble is going to come out on top in this match.
Yeah, Warren, I think those are really good guesses, but if I was a betting man, I think I might put money on Jabroni. Jabroni has shocked me throughout every single match. I've said it time and time again. You don't think he's going to come in there and take it seriously, but every single time he kills it. He took Walnut to the limit, and I think he's just itching for that second shot to prove it. He knows the strategy. He knows the game plan. He knows that if he can get in there and just hit the ocular pat down one more time, that could be game over for Walnut. But I don't want to count on Victor Hill either, someone neither of us have mentioned. Just an absolute powerhouse. Tags, singles, triple, 6-man tags. He can do it all, and he has done it all, and he might do it all tonight.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is going to be a fantastic match from end to end. And explain to me, so this is going to be a match where it's an elimination match, right?
Correct, Warren.
And so how does that go? To let the folks know at home, kind of explain how that goes.
So 4 men will start in the ring, and they will all be wrestling each other. There are no teams, no allegiances, besides maybe what's formed in the ring, a sort of gentleman's agreement. But when one person gets pinned or submitted, they are out of the match. And then 3 men will continue the match. That will go on until 1 man is left standing. You must win by pinfall or victory, and I believe it is a no disqualification match, meaning anything goes. But by the end of it, we will have a precise idea of who is the best wrestler here, besides Walnut maybe, but who is the best wrestler and who deserves to challenge Walnut for his title. And I will also mention that Thomas Noble has expressed interest in joining the Bankrollers. There was some talk of a Bankrollers tryout match, and they offered a hand to Noble and said that if he can get at least one elimination in this match, he will deserve the right to try out for the Bankroller. So just something else to watch in this match.
Yeah, very exciting things for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling and the Bankrollers as a faction. And speaking of the Bankrollers, in the main event tonight, we have the Chicago Cowboy taking on Damon Sky in the Slaughterhouse Wrestling's first ever cage match. Johnny, I don't even know where to begin with this one. Both of these guys just storied past here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Chicago Cowboy came out hot here in this league and then stepped away after some bad losses to Walnut. Probably needed to recoup, kind of recover on his own and see what he could do. And Damon Sky, while he was gone, did nothing but win. Put on some amazing title runs himself. Maybe didn't come down with the title, but was up for a number of those matches. Just recently disbanded his own faction. I mean, this is something we've never really seen before, and both of these guys want to come out of this with the win. We're not too sure Damon Sky's future here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, what might occur after this match, but I do know that the Chicago Cowboy wants to come back, and he wants to come back strong. And I just know I wouldn't want to be in a steel cage with either of these guys.
Oh, definitely not, Warren. These are two, to put it lightly, absolutely angry men. Damon trying to dig down and find something darker and deeper within himself after his loss to Walnut. Chicago Cowboy coming back after an embarrassing loss to Walnut in 6 minutes, his first match in over 6 weeks here in the Slaughterhouse. Both men absolutely hate each other. Damon Sky has run through almost every variation you could think of the Bankrollers, and Chicago Cowboy is here to get an ounce of revenge for his teammates. This means everything to him. He needs to get numbers on the board. He needs to be a force here in Slaughterhouse, and he needs to prove that time he took off was worth it, and he needs to prove that he's more than a joke. Damon, I don't know what happens after this match. If Damon wins and rides off into the sunset, he will forever prove that he was a completely dominant wrestler in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But if he loses and has to hang his head in disgrace, I don't know what that means for the future.
Yeah, honestly, Johnny, I'm not too sure myself, but I can't wait for it to start. So let's stop stalling. Let's get this going. Slaughterhouse 6 cage-free meet. We are ready to go. The first match of the evening, Malachi Hades in his debut taking on Nightmare. Both of these guys ready to come on out tonight.
And folks, you can go ahead.
You go ahead, Johnny. No, you go ahead.
You can go ahead, Warren.
I was just going to say, we've honestly had a great time here, so far. Obviously, we're just kind of getting started here tonight at Chief Dave's Custom Slaughtering. Interesting Yelp reviews about this place, though. I will say that much. I expect, we'll probably be leaving a pretty positive one after we leave here tonight. But just some interesting backstory to this place.
Oh, yeah, hope so, Warren. I've heard a lot about Chief Dave's slaughtering methods. A lot of defective bullets being shot around here. Hopefully we won't see anything like that tonight. But so far, Chief Dave has treated us great. Had a great pulled pork barbecue dinner. Only a little bit of shrapnel in it, which kind of to be expected when you're at a place like this. But hey, that's just spicy.
Chewy.
Yeah, a little chewy, a little spicy. You appreciate it. But folks, I was gonna mention something. Wow, look at that graphic. That is brand new, folks. I am so glad that we have graphics here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling now. Folks, I was going to mention something here. You might be wondering who that is in the ring, that man wearing the striped shirt, because that is not the man you are familiar with. That is not Earl Dipshit. Folks, that is famed indie wrestler Double Dutch Doug Douglas. Here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, our new referee, Earl Dipshit, taking a promotion all the way to commissioner. Just wanted to congratulate him and his family, his 6 wives, his 20 kids. I know they're all very excited that Dad's going to come home with that steak tonight. And folks, I'm glad to have Doug Douglas here too.
Yeah, I got to say, Double Dutch, we're excited to see what he can do in Slaughterhouse. Big congrats to Earl Dipshit. Hopefully he forgives us for some of the things we've said. As we've been doing commentary over the past 35 years here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But, speaking of commentary for Slaughterhouse Wrestling, there's been a lot of action going on. We had Malachi Hades give us a high five over here at the announce table as he landed right in front of us a second ago.
And folks, we also saw Malachi Hades, one of his first moves of the match, power bombing Nightmare. And Nightmare is not a small man. That is a feat of strength, folks. These two titans going at it. And if I am remembering things correctly, Warren, I almost called you Wallace. I think that's another band that I've met a couple times. Warren, this is a new look for Nightmare. I believe the shorts, the either tattoos or sleeves, a little hard to tell from here. All of that seems new.
Yeah, it looks like he's gotten a little bit of a makeover, as it were, and kind of styled things up. But honestly, Malachi Hades looks like he could be a new member of Behold a Dark Horse, wearing the red and black himself. That is very, obviously a signifier of Behold a Dark Horse and the colors that they wear in the ring.
A small pin there from Malachi Hades. Malachi really showing his stuff here, but oh my god, the Hurricane Rana from Nightmare taking Hades off of his feet. Maybe some new offense there. Gotta say, I like it.
Yeah, and honestly, we talk about STO and the way he moves, but Nightmare has been doing some amazing things. The agility he's shown in the ring, Hades is just taking it to his head. He's obviously targeting that head. Maybe he knows he can slow him down. We have obviously seen Nightmare get KO'd here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, you have to think Malachi is taking that into account with the neck breaker there, the change over there, shooting him off, not able to capitalize. But, Slaughterhouse Wrestling, everyone, oh my god, I'm sorry, I was going to say something. Huge sit down pile driver gets a 2.9. Nightmare on Malachi there. I was about to say that, everyone here watches the tapes, everyone here knows each other's strategies, but I think this time off has allowed Nightmare to change up his style a little bit. You can tell me if you think I'm wrong there, Warren, but we're seeing a lot of new offense out of him tonight.
Yeah, you've got that right. We're definitely seeing something new from him, something we haven't seen before, is he's taking... Malachi kicking at it too there, kicked at it 2.9 a second ago, so he's obviously getting his second win back, but it's going to be tough against Nightmare. It's just unrelenting offense his way.
Yeah, big lariat there, gets just a 2 count for Nightmare, delivering some absolute bombs here to Malachi, but Malachi showing a good tenacity, and that's the kind of heart you need to succeed here at the Slaughterhouse. Big cutter into what looks like an armbar in the dead center of the ring, nowhere to go. Nightmare able to power out of it.
Yeah, honestly, it's nice to see Hades kind of get a little bit of offense going himself, but he is not giving up.
Choke bomb from Nightmare. Does not get the 3 count, almost though. Hades barely kicking out of that one.
Yeah, and Hades is going to have to do something here to turn it around. He's getting a breather right there himself, but he's not going to get much opportunity with Nightmare. Another pile driver. Both of these guys relentless on the head of the other opponent.
And folks, that is it. That is Nightmare's first win here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, taking it right to Malachi Hades, delivering that pile driver twice for the victory.
Yeah, and honestly, we talked about it. Nightmare, it looks like this guy has completely turned it around here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Impressive debut by Malachi Hades. I guess we didn't, as someone who studies tape, me and you both, obviously, I didn't expect that from Nightmare, having watched him wrestle 2 or 3 times before this. And Malachi might have been studying the same tape as us and just, a little bit confused about what he just saw in the ring, as we are.
Oh, absolutely. I had heard rumors that Behold a Dark Horse had taken this time, those 3 weeks that we took off of doing Slaughterhouse Wrestling, taken the time to maybe rethink their strategy a little bit, do anything to just get some wins on the board. And I think it just paid off there in spades. Nightmare making a statement that he wants to be a dominant part of this company.
Yeah, you've got that right. And honestly, not a bad debut from Hades. He really showed a lot out there to survive as long as he did against Nightmare, who is, I don't know, after this match, he might be moving his way up in the rankings. That was a pretty strong look for him.
Absolutely. But folks, in this next match, speaking of Behold a Dark Horse, we're going to have Black Snow take on the debuting Badman. Badman, a tough street fighter, tough indie wrestler, never lost a fight in his life, taking on Black Snow, a crowd favorite here, I think I might say. One of the favorites of Behold a Dark Horse, and definitely endeared himself here with the Slaughterhouse fans.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you there, Johnny, honestly. He's made a big fan. He's kind of gone back and forth across the aisle, wrestling with bankrollers once or twice, doing some singles action, Behold the Dark Horse also. But this guy, he's just a talent, and I'm curious to see what Badman can bring his way. And it looks like both of these guys are ready to go backstage, so let's bring you down to the action.
Yeah, Black Snow, dabbling here and there. It seems like his affiliation, or maybe Behold a Dark Horse's entire affiliation with the Bankrollers is over. Black Snow having some choice words for Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi. Obviously, some other things like the Hardcore title tournament and Badman getting in his way. But it seems like Black Snow is out for his money, and he's out for blood.
Yeah, and both of these guys obviously have caught the attention of the Bankrollers, who are definitely going to be paying attention to this match.
Oh, of course, Warren. But Black Snow, took a little time off, came back more pissed off than ever, looking just for a solid match here, something to hang his hat on. And if I'm remembering right as well, we're seeing a new Black Snow here. This is new gear, new headband, new singlet, new boots. Looks like, again, Behold a Dark Horse, really trying to make the most of their time off.
Yeah, it really does look like it, and I'm guessing we're going to see a new style here from him. We've never seen the Badman wrestle. I've seen some tape, so I'm very interested what the fans are going to think, some of the people back in the locker room. But we've seen a good bit of Black Snow, so I'm curious. I'm hoping they didn't change up too much, because he's been a pretty good talent here in Slaughterhouse.
Absolutely, Warren. But we're seeing some good offense here from Badman, bringing the arm of Black Snow and going for the side Russian leg sweep, trying to just make a statement early in this match that he is not someone that you can just brush off.
Yeah, and honestly, just look at the size of him. How could you brush someone like that off?
Absolutely, and the drop down there from Badman, a second drop down, some of those Street Fighter instincts coming out, and then raking the eyes. Ooh, that's good Slaughterhouse. Good Slaughterhouse strategy there. We love our eye pokes, our eye rakes, any sort of bending of the rules.
Yeah, obviously we've seen a lot of that over the past year or so with Earl Dipshit as our referee, so I'm very curious as a commissioner now how much he's going to let fly in each one of these matches. I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot of interesting things over the next few months.
Well, I'd be hoping that Double Dutch Doug Douglas can call things down the middle regardless of how the commissioner's office wants things to run. But it looks like he won't have to worry about that. These two men are absolutely going at it. Big body slam there from Black Snow to Badman, going into the Dragon Sleeper.
And Badman, came out really strong, really fast in this match, but Black Snow's kind of turned it around on him, put on some offense of his own. So both of these guys kind of looking pretty good out there tonight. And
whoa, hey,
looking good. Hey, Badman, how you doing?
He didn't even say hi to us. What a bad man.
Yeah, he's definitely a bad guy. Bad man. I'm guessing when he gets into these fights, he gets kind of in the zone. As someone who's fought street fights, those can be life or death depending on where he's doing his fighting.
Of course, and I was about to say, this is a styles clash in and of itself, because you have Black Snow, who is a true wrestler's wrestler. He's someone that a lot of the boys in the back, they pay attention when his matches come on. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Back out at us.
Yeah, we might need to talk to Black Snow after this, because we actually really enjoy the announce table here, and we really don't want to see it messed up. Slaughterhouse, pays a good, $50 for someone to set this table up for us, and I would really not like to see it wrecked.
Yeah, I don't even know if this is our table. It might be one of Chief Dave's pig shooting tables, and I definitely wouldn't want to wreck his stuff. But what I was going to say is that if Badman is a street fighter, and Black Snow's a wrestler, that's a different game plan right there. You have to really account for those instincts that you wouldn't have if you were in a ring, and Black Snow needs to adjust his game plan to compensate for someone who is used to there being no rules and used to not pulling his punches even the slightest bit. And you can see it right there, those shots to the face, those shoot-style Street Fighter shots right to the jaw of Black Snow. Only gets a 1 count, though.
Yeah, and it looks like Badman, he's learned enough about wrestling along the way to kind of know how to do, a few pins, a few covers.
Very fancy pin there, speaking of, from Black Snow, something new, but DDT'd on the top of his head by the Badman, and a belly-to-belly suplex.
Yeah,
really capitalize.
Just
Sorry,
a
did
one
not mean to
count,
talk
too.
before.
Black Snow is going to be a tough guy for him to take out. As you know, he's kicked out of all of these pins at one. But what I was going to say earlier is just, Badman obviously a street fighter. Once he learned the ways of wrestling, he learned that, he could inflict a lot of bodily harm on other people, in, the same amount of time, with the strength that he's accumulated over the years. And he's really shown that tonight. He has got some wrestling moves up his sleeve, and Black Snow's going to have to be ready for those.
Oh, absolutely. But it looks like maybe even on the fly here, Black Snow is adjusting to that new style. Really, oh my god, pop-up cutter. That's what I'm saying. These new moves. And it looks like an STO there as well, no pun intended. Rolling up Badman. Almost getting the 3 count. Wow, that was good offense.
Yeah, that is something else. Badman has got his work cut out for him for the rest of this match. As Black Snow, he's got him down. Some kind of leg lock looks like but I mean, he's still only gotten him to a 1 count right now. He's got a,
Black Snow dumped on his head right outside of us. Folks, I feel like we got the best seat in the house here, Warren. All this action right in front of us, spilling out. Oh, stiff DDT right on the outside.
Oh, by the way, folks, in case that is Chief Dave right there with the legs crossed. That is him. In fact, he is a big fan of Slaughterhouse Wrestling. He was glad for us to come here and wrestle in his Slaughterhouse. That is him. He asked for a front row seat. That's all he asked for tonight.
We got to give a shout out to Chief Dave. Thank you for being a great sponsor in this match. I hope he appreciated that action happening right in front of him. Black Snow barely making the count back in. And Badman only able to get a 2 count after all of that offense. I was going to say, he hit a Badman slam there out on the side of the ring. Big DDT too. The Black Snow on his feet, but just barely after all that offense.
Yeah, both of these guys obviously look a little winded. We're only, 10 or so minutes in. As Badman will go for a pin on him again, getting higher than a 2 count. Oh, almost a 3 count on Black Snow. Would have been a great start to his Slaughterhouse Wrestling career.
Oh, the Badman slam once again. Nowhere to go in the center of the ring. Black Snow barely kicking out.
Wow, Black Snow has just got something in him we just don't see from many wrestlers here in Slaughterhouse.
And these two Titans going at it. Oh, Badman with a change up there, going for the drop kick. Don't think STO anticipated that. And just mounting him with those punches right to Black Snow's dome piece. That's gotta hurt. That is that street fighting shoot style we expect from the Badman.
Yeah, he's just falling back on old habits. When he doesn't know what else to do, he's just going to go for those punches to the face. That's what he knows. That's what he grew up with.
Black Snow with the shoulder tackle, taking Badman off his feet. Can he capitalize here? Oh my god, standing sliced bread. And following it up with a shoulder tackle, going back to Old Faithful there. And can he do it here? Will this be enough, Warren?
I mean, I would be surprised if it wasn't. Black Snow's completely turned the tide of this match. Another sliced bread on Badman. He has got his work cut out for him if he wants to come out of there with the W as he lands right in front of me, Johnny. Goodness gracious, these guys. Ooh, face to the concrete floor out there. That has got to hurt.
Oh, and the Fujiwara armbar right in front of us. That looks absolutely cinched in, Warren. And both men seeming like they don't care about this count. Black Snow just holding it. But Badman able to get in, beating the count. Black Snow as well. Oh, good job on both men there.
Badman looks like he's going to go right back to putting some offense on Black Snow, but he's got his work cut out for him as Black Snow has done nothing but attack Badman for the past 5 minutes.
And that looked like a chop to the throat there, a change-up. I was expecting a shoulder tackle, and I think Badman might have been as well. And a third standing sliced bread. God, that move looks gnarly.
Yeah, Black Snow, this is not the same Black Snow we know, but goodness gracious if he has not come back even fiercer than before.
Badman looking to shift the tides here. Oh my god, float over DDT. Throwing off the arm pad. Going for the Badman elbow, I believe, his finishing maneuver. Nails it, pinpoint accuracy right on the sternum.
And you got to think he's going for the pin here, Johnny. And he does. Let's see how far he gets on him.
And folks, that is it. Badman has made a statement that he is here to stay in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Honestly, the way that match was going, that was about as unexpected as it can be. You know, both of these guys came out throwing everything they had at each other, but Black Snow himself, he really pulled away on that one. I really thought he was going to come away with the victory there. I feel like if he could just get a pin in, that would have been it for him. But letting Badman throw the Badman's elbow on him really, it was the difference maker in that match.
Absolutely. We saw some great offense there from Badman. Was not expecting that at all out of him. He is adjusting so well to the Slaughterhouse Wrestling ring. And man, you know, I hyped up Black Snow so much for that match. Said he'd run absolutely roughshod. And all of that was right, and all of that means that this was just a crucial win for the Badman. I cannot wait to see more of him in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, you have said it, Johnny. These two guys, Black Snow, obviously someone we've seen for a long while. I think we're going to continue to see more success from him. I think it's tough, Badman coming in for his first match here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling against an established talent like Black Snow, but held his own, and not only held his own, but gets the W. As it looks like we're getting ready for our next match here tonight. We are getting ready for the semifinals of the Hardcore title tournament. Obviously, the winner of this becoming the inaugural Hardcore title holder here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And it looks like we've got Tyler Blades taking on Forged in Fire champion. Both of these guys, fantastic fighters. We've seen a good bit more of Forged in Fire champion. Tyler Blades, obviously, had success in the original tourney that we started Slaughterhouse Wrestling with. But I think this is going to be a fantastic match for both guys. So let's see. It looks like both of these guys are ready. So let's bring them on out, and as they prepare the barbed wire and get them out here to the ring. So in the Lost Slaughterhouse, the barbed wire match, Forged in Fire also fought and won, and he won. So he definitely has the home field advantage here in this match.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Warren. And folks, I would also like to point out, in the ring right now, you might notice there are a couple sledgehammers, a few chairs. We are changing things up for the semifinals of this tournament, making things just a little more violent here and encouraging the use of weapons where we can. That came straight from our new commissioner. If you disagree with it, if you're a little squeamish, I am so sorry. That's the rules we gotta play by.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta expect, it's Slaughterhouse Wrestling, you're gonna see some blood. And I will say, Chief Dave, he looks like he is ready for some blood over there. He didn't even think to move up from the first row.
Absolutely. Chief Dave, he wanted both of these matches on his show. We were originally only going to do one of these matches, just to give you guys some inside baseball here. We were only going to do one of these hardcore matches, but Chief Dave insisted that if we book his arena, we bleed in it. And folks, I thought that was real fucking weird, but hey, he's paying the bills. I'll do what he says.
Yeah, and honestly, he's been nothing but hospitable.
Oh, he's been great.
Tyler Blades getting dangerously close to that barbed wire with Forged in Fire's body, which I'm sure Forged in Fire will not be very happy about.
And so far, both of these going back and forth, no one able to really get an advantage here, but both of them doing a good deal of damage on each other. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Warren, this is the first time these two men have ever faced off.
Yeah, this is a match we haven't really seen before in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Both guys have very interesting styles, Tyler Blades is more of just a strong man. Forged in Fire, obviously someone who knows his way in and out of the ring. I mean, pretty much an all-around strong wrestler.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Warren. You can see these two men slugging it out among the weapons and the barbed wire. Absolutely back and forth. Finally, Tyler Blades getting the advantage there. Will he be able to capitalize? Yes, throwing him into that barbed wire. God, that looked absolutely gnarly. That explosion has to hurt.
Yeah, and I'm really curious how much longer we're going to go without these weapons being used out there. Commissioner Dipshit, he put them out there, and I know before the match he told both of these guys, he's like, there's going to be some new things going on in this match tonight. I don't want to spoil it yet. Both of the guys got in the ring, kind of had a little small, sly grin on their faces when they saw the weapons, but it looks like they've got other plans so far as they kind of are ignoring them as they just want to wail on each other's body with their own fist and feet.
Oh, step up Shining Wizard there from Forged in Fire too. Yeah, so far it seems like neither man has really needed the weapons yet, just throwing some absolute bombs on each other. And that SEO pushdown right there too. I was going to say Tyler Blades has one of the hardest scoop slams I have ever seen in wrestling. He might not even need these weapons to do any sort of damage to Forged in Fire.
As he throws Blades into the barbed wire for his first time of the night. Both guys haven't hit the barbed wire once so far tonight, but Forged in Fire looks like he's kind of been the tough guy so far. And as I say that every single time, somebody's going to do something like that.
Yeah, big jumping flatliner there. Tyler Blades able to string together some offense and actually get a pin though. And again, one of those hard fall away slam. God, it's hard enough just taking those moves in a ring without all this plunder sitting around. But when you take one of those slams on a chair or on even a kendo stick, it hurts even that much more.
Yeah, and like I said, Blades is just kind of going at him. Every single move, you see so much strength, so much power. Forged in Fire has some of the prettiest moves in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Does some stuff I've never seen guys do before.
Oh, Blades edge there from Tyler Blades. Not able to get the victory, but God, almost.
Yeah, and Forged in Fire, as I was saying, on the chair.
Right, his head on the back of the chair. Yeah, as you were saying, I was actually going to agree with you, Warren. Tyler Blades is a real fighter here, but Forged in Fire has some of the most pinpoint accurate, textbook beautiful wrestling moves I have ever seen.
Yeah, the guy has obviously spent a lot of time, in the gym, training in the ring, but at the same time, Blades looks like he's been hitting the weights more when he's in the gym.
Oh yeah, Blades is all power. He is all muscle. His slams look like, I just said it, but they look like they hurt so bad. You can see there, he's getting the pin, putting all of that weight on Forged in Fire Champion's chest. Even if that doesn't look like a big pin, just those biceps, those triceps, all pushing down on him. All of that muscle, like you said, Warren, really adds up. And you can see there, same kind of pin, so much easier to kick out of. No offense to Forged in Fire Champion, but he is just losing the weight battle here.
Yeah, Blades has taken, multiple shots to the barbed wire now, taken 2, but both times gotten a 2 count. Still has not gotten anything further than 2, not even really close to a 3 count. We couldn't even argue it on, the worst days,
Absolutely, but Blades edge right on the chair. Forged in Fire looks out on his feet.
Another barbed wire shot. Forged in Fire. He has got his work cut out for him for the rest of this match.
I have no idea how he's still standing, let alone a standing sliced bread on the barbed wire baseball bat. That's not enough to do it. Wow. I applaud the tenacity of this man, Warren.
Yeah, these guys both obviously don't want to leave anything in the ring, and Forged in Fire is doing everything he can to try to come out and get to the finals of the hardcore title tournament. But Tyler Blades, it does just not look like he's going to let that happen here tonight.
Reversing it into a pinning predicament for Tyler Blades. Almost a 3 count, not quite though.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take right now. I mean, Forged in Fire is literally throwing everything he has at Tyler Blades, and Blades is just kicking out at 2 every single time. The frustration, I can't imagine how bad it's got to be mounting for him.
Oh, big choke slam there from Tyler Blades to Forged in Fire Champion. And that is enough, folks. After all of that offense to the back of Forged in Fire Champion's head, Tyler Blades hits the choke slam, gets the pin, advances in the hardcore title tournament.
And he will be going on to face the winner of the Lucifer Valeska Ricky Big Bucks match. But, I mean, what a match from both guys. Forged in Fire, like we talked about, is one of the most technical wrestlers we have in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. But Tyler Blades has kind of shown he can come out and just beat the hell out of somebody. It doesn't really matter how technical a wrestler you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Blades, took all that time off back here in the hardcore tournament, really proving that he still belongs here. He was the OG, the first winner of the first ever Slaughterhouse match, and now he is advancing in the tournament and is going to make it all the way to the finals to finally claim some gold to hang around his waist. Folks, speaking of needing a win and getting a win, we're going to have two guys from two different tag teams trying to prove themselves in singles action as their partners have gone on to some singles success. STO of Behold a Dark Horse is going to take on Dank Poopstain of the Exotic Husbands.
Yeah, and honestly, we've seen a number of Behold a Dark Horse, matches tonight. I'm gonna guess that STO has kind of changed up his fighting style too. I mean, Dank Poopstain, obviously, you love him, you hate him, he stinks, but the guy can get it done in the ring, in a tag match. Both of these guys, fantastic tag team wrestlers. It's going to be something we need to see from them to finally get some singles wins.
Absolutely, Warren. And it looks like Double Dutch Doug Douglas has reset the ring, and we are ready to kick this match off.
I gotta say, I've never seen someone clear that much barbed wire that fast.
Oh? It looks like he did not clear out all of the barbed wire that he maybe should have. Folks, we're going to take a short intermission to make sure that is all cleared out for the next match.
Yeah, luckily, it looks like it didn't get things too far. We obviously, sometimes have these kind of snafus. We have a new commissioner in place. There have been a lot of things we're going to have to get figured out. Earl Dipshit, obviously, is a member of the Dipshit dynasty, so he's kind of got, he's got his work cut out for him in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, kind of becoming a new commissioner. But it looks like we got everything settled. Got Dank Poopstain coming down now, ready to wrestle here tonight against STO.
Absolutely. And, I love Double Dutch Doug Douglas, but like I said, he is a former independent wrestler who we have contracted as a referee. That means that he has taken more shots to the head than any living human should. He signaled to me that the ring was clear, and I just kind of went with it. I could see all that barbed wire. I got two eyes that work perfectly fine, and I don't know why he did that, but you know what? God love him. He's here to stay.
Yeah, and honestly, like you said, this is kind of a tryout for him here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. With Dipshit moving up, I think he takes refereeing very seriously, even though we've seen him referee the last 4 or 5 Slaughterhouse pay-per-views. And he's made some questionable decisions over those years, but I think he's going to be kind of picky when it comes to picking his referee for the future.
And folks, it looks like we still have some weaponry in the ring. I believe that what I'm hearing in my earpiece is that Commissioner Dipshit is going to let this match continue as is. We will see if it impacts any of the action here in the Slaughterhouse.
Well, honestly, if these guys start taking some hits on top of some of these things, we're going to see a little bit of blood out here tonight. Hopefully they aren't picking them up, because I'm guessing they're going to be a little bit of trouble. But both of these guys, obviously, vicious wrestlers. So I got to think they might not ignore them, but at the same time, these guys need to get some aggression out. And I think this might be the best opportunity for them to do that.
Warren, I was actually going to say, I believe Dank Poopstain already fell on top of some glass and is bleeding all over the canvas right now.
Yeah, honestly, that is just like Dank Poopstain to leave his mark all over this ring. He always does, and every single time it annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, every time STO slams him, it's just going to leave skid marks over that nice black and white ring. And you know what? I don't like Dank Poopstain. Every time I try to get close to him, it just smells bad. He doesn't say anything to me. He's just gross. But I can't deny his wrestling acumen. He and Dong Michaels as a tag team, probably some of the best tag action I've ever seen in my life. And in their big singles match, the German Brawl Down, brother versus brother, one of the most emotional matches we've ever seen here in the Slaughterhouse. But sadly, he has just not been able to string it together, pick up any wins as a singles competitor.
And honestly, a match like this against STO is going to be exactly what he needs if he wants to start a singles career, here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Dong, obviously, on, the other side of the coin, is in the Contenders match tonight for the chance to take on Walnut himself.
Ooh. I'm sorry I made a noise over your speech, but I don't know if you heard that crunch of that barbed wire as STO got that butterfly suplex directly on it. Those weapons coming into play almost immediately in this match, Warren.
Yeah, and it looks like he's kind of letting all the blood rush to his head, picking him up and kind of holding him up there for a little while.
Yeah, good strategy there from STO, thinking on the fly. And it looks like on the outset, he's kind of getting the advantage here in this match, planning some bigger shots on Dank Boopstein.
Yeah, and you talked about it earlier. You try to talk to him backstage. I've done the same. I feel like it's my job to kind of get a little bit of info before the matches. And I tried to talk to him backstage, and all he did was purr at me. And, it just made me so uncomfortable. So I'm kind of hoping he does not notice the microphone on the right side of the stage, because that could end very badly for the fans here tonight if he ends up using it.
Oh, God. I didn't even notice that, Warren. I am scared out of my mind. But it looks like STO with these big lariats is going to make sure he doesn't even get that far. And a huge ground zero power bomb almost takes Dank Boopstein out early in this match.
Yeah, no matter what.
Oh no, that might be game over right there. Shoving his, how do I say this? Heine into the face of STO. I cannot imagine a fate worse than that. That is a fate worse than death, Warren.
Yeah, and honestly, Dank might be bleeding all over the ring so far, but I think that STO would trade places with him at any moment to avoid what happened to him just a moment ago.
Absolutely, Warren. But it looks like STO trying to string together some offense after that enormous backbreaker there. Jesus Christ, using that strength that we talked about earlier to his advantage.
Yeah, and Dank is going to have to figure out some way to he's strung together some nice, a move here and there, got a little bit of offense going on STO, but this has completely been STO's match so far here tonight.
I believe that was a flipping DDT reversal kind of thing. I don't even know how to call that. And there's that Hurricane Rana that he's found so much success with. One of the signature moves of Dank Boopstein. Going back into that leg lock too, just sinking into it. Not a pretty hold, but definitely effective.
It looks like, this is exactly what he needs to kind of turn it around as he just continues to bleed all over this ring.
Yeah, Dragon Gate style body slam there. And going for the Beal as well. Oh my god, just slamming him everywhere. And on top of that microphone, Warren, I don't know if you could hear that feedback, that weird squishy noise that happens every time he does it. But man, it is loud.
Yeah, it's something else. I don't know why that would have been used as a weapon.
Ooh! Power slam into a pinning predicament. STO powers out, but wow, that was a cool move.
Yeah, something we really haven't seen with Dank Boopstein before, but a surprising move nonetheless.
Big boss man style crescent kick from the big man STO, nailing Dank Boopstein right on his dome piece, and then just throwing him around even more. My God, I went into this match maybe thinking Dank Boopstein had a chance, but this is an absolute showcase for STO, Warren.
Yeah, he has done nothing but just demolish from the beginning to the end of the match, but Dank Boopstein, he's getting a little bit of offense here. I mean, besides his blood, he's kind of getting STO, he's kind of showing him the mat, as it were, a little bit. And he's got to get some moves going, trying to get this crowd of 300. I can't really say 300 in all fairness. Chief Dave told us to, bump up the numbers, but it's a little bit less than that.
Oh, and that is the finishing maneuver of Dank Boopstein there, nailing STO right on the side of that chair. God, it hurts enough to get hit by a chair, but getting hit on that side, the railing part, God, I can't imagine, right on the spine. And it looks like it was almost exactly what he needed to pick up the win, but not quite yet.
Yeah, both of these guys, you can tell, they're doing everything they can to finish the other guy off. They are both exhausted. They are both tired, and I don't know what it's going to take for one of them to get the advantage, but I have a feeling we're going to see it here in the next few minutes.
Oh, kick to the gut taking down STO. You are right that he is just winded at this point. And Dank Boopstein going up for that pinpoint elbow drop. One of his favorite moves, laughing at the crowd again. Not sure why, but
pointing like a teacher mad at her student. I just can't get enough of that little tongue.
I know it's something else, Warren. He's just proving everybody wrong. Everybody always thinks Dank Boopstein just is out. I even said that a second ago. I had my faith in Dank Boopstein, but it was shook. And he is such a late-game wrestler, and he knows that nobody realizes that on the outset. He's just here to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know where the match is going to go from here. I mean, STO had a chance to hit another one of those crescent kicks you were talking about a second ago, but just straight up miss. And I think that might be the turn of the tide. He's still getting some moves on Tank, but Tank is going to keep putting that offense on him.
Of course, big jumping neck breaker there, a little swing on it, and that, God, underrated drop kick in my opinion from Dank Poopstain to STO there.
Yeah, fantastic move. And it looks like he's just toying with STO now. At any moment, I feel like he could be trying to go for the pin, but he's still trying to apply some hurt to make up for all the blood he's left all over the ring.
And yeah, this is where Dank Poopstain thrives. We're entering minute 16 of this match. This is officially the mid to late game of most Slaughterhouse wrestling matches. This is where he starts to really pull out his offense.
Yeah, we've seen, obviously, 30-minute matches with him and Dong Michaels, and you got to think STO, he's going to start getting winded, but Dank Poopstain, he feels kind of at home at this time.
Oh, buckle bomb! A huge buckle bomb right to the back in the neck of Dank Poopstain. STO needs to capitalize here immediately, and it looks like he's just trying to string together more offense before going to that leg lock. And folks, that is it. Submission victory for STO.
You knew it was coming. Both of these guys obviously felt like they were on their last limb the entire match, but STO really came out on top with a fantastic match against Dank. Once again, we can't say it enough. Dank has put on some of the most amazing matches here in Slaughterhouse. And, we kind of thought it was only because he was fighting Dong, but after this one, the crowd loved that match. That was a fantastic match, a little bit of a surprise with the weapon still being out there, but honestly, just a fantastic slobber knocker of a match.
Yeah, I sure hope our intrepid ref can make sure those weapons are out of the ring for the next match. But I did want to point out something that we didn't really talk about. All three members of Behold the Dark Horse are sporting new gear. They were doing new moves. I have never seen STO pull out that knee bar before, a new move in his arsenal that led to the victory. All three of these men have really taken this time off and tried their best to improve their acumen, their wrestling acumen a little bit. Just try something new to get some wins on the board.
Yeah, and honestly, it looks like it's paid off for him so far. I mean, STO coming out with the win, Nightmare coming out with the win.
And folks, turning our attention to the next match, this one is actually a landmine match between Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi and Lucifer Velasca here for the Hardcore Championship, the other semifinal match for this title. The winner of this match will be taking on Tyler Blades in the finals.
Yeah, and honestly, both of these guys, Lucifer obviously kind of a storied wrestler here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, so it'll be curious to see what he brings to the ring against Ricky Big Bucks. Obviously, Lucifer getting the biggest win so far, the tourney taking out Frank the Trash Man Reynolds. So I'll be interested to see if Ricky Big Bucks has what it takes. If Lucifer might not have too much downstairs. Obviously, he is a demon from hell, so we're not too sure what might be going on there.
Yeah, of course. Something you always have to consider when you're wrestling Lucifer Velasca is that I don't think he's quite human. He is something else entirely, and Ricky Big Bucks is going to find out what in this match. And folks, it looks like we've set the ring back up. Everything is good to go. We're going to kick it off to the final semifinal match of this tournament.
Yeah, and I can't wait. The landmine match, it is fantastically fun, wild match. Obviously Chief Dave, he's not moving. It looks like he's not moving. He is still going to stay on the front row, as we have obviously moved up a little bit higher to be a little bit further away from the action as these guys get ready to go.
Huge overhead toss onto the sledgehammer to begin with. And folks, there's some new weapons out in the ring now. I see a fork over there. I sure hope nobody uses that.
Yeah, we've seen some fork action here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and it's never fun to see. As looks like Big Bucks is going to go after the head of Lucifer. He sees that helmet, and I think he wants to make it his mission to kind of put some damage on it.
We still don't know what that helmet is made out of. We don't even know if it's protection, if it's a weak spot. Maybe it's like a turtle thing where the shell is actually like his spine all the way around his body. I think that's how turtles work. I really dropped out of high school, so I don't know. But we still aren't sure here what exactly Lucifer's whole deal is.
Yeah, Johnny, I have to agree with you there. I don't know anatomy of turtles very well. I did graduate high school, but something we never really covered that well. So I'm not too sure. Oh, we see a scythe in the ring. I feel like Lucifer might be a little more at home with that scythe. So let's hope he doesn't notice it. And let's hope also that Ricky Big Bucks doesn't notice that microphone. Both of those things, the strength of both of them.
Yeah, but Ricky's stringing together some big offense here. Big boot there, leading to a stomp and a pin. Early pin there, just trying to wear some energy out of Lucifer, but a pretty good strategy.
Yeah, something he's going to have to keep going. Oh, as Lucifer takes the first landmine. Another landmine.
2 in a row.
This guy, I mean, obviously he is very home in the fires of hell, but it'll be interesting to see how he recovers from those 2 blows.
Ricky going for some traditional wrestling moves now. A Boston Crab onto Lucifer. Looks gnarly.
Yeah, and obviously we talked about it, in the first round of the tournament. Ricky Big Bucks, he stepped away for a little while, kind of revamped, he brought a new trainer, as I understand it. I think he had been using WCW versus NWO Revenge as his wrestling guide. I'm not too sure how it went. He explained it to me. I wasn't really listening that well. But it looks like he actually got a trainer to teach him some wrestling moves, and it paid off in the first round. And so far, it's paying off for him in this match.
Yeah, one time when I was trying to talk to the bankrollers about wrestling, I asked Big Money Marty and Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi who their favorite wrestlers were. Big Money Marty told me he didn't have one, and Ricky told me AKI Man. So it's nice to see him have a better grasp on reality here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he's changed his answer. I think it still might be AKI Man, but it's Lucifer takes another shot.
Ooh, and Ricky diving in with that back elbow. God, just dropping him on his back after. Lucifer is bleeding everywhere.
It looks like Ricky Big Bucks is tiring himself out with his own moves.
He has done so many offensive maneuvers. But he gets into the barbed wire as well. And then Lucifer, a fourth. Oh my God, Warren.
These guys are just no stranger to landmines here tonight.
And it seems like the crop top of Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi really is holding him together right now. No signs of blood on him after that flurry.
And both of these guys clearly winded, seen a little bit more blood on Lucifer, or what I assume is blood. Once again, we do not understand his anatomy or know what really is going on inside his head underneath the helmet.
Oh, absolutely, Warren. And I'm also hearing from the crowd, someone behind us shouted that Kimchi is underrated. In WCW NWO Revenge, I would say yes, but I think I like Dr. Jekyll a little more. That's the last thing I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. The one thing I do know for sure is Loki is someone I never wanted to see in the ring.
Oh, absolutely not. Also, I want to give a shout out to Hanzo Mon. I always thought
shout out to Hanzo Mon.
This is real. When I was a kid, I thought Hanzo Mon was a real wrestler, like a real WCW guy. And then when I started getting into wrestling as an adult,
once again, Big Buck not understanding how the hardcore tournament works.
Absolutely not.
Fake out, and it looks like Double Dutch is a little confused too.
Double Dutch almost falling for it, needing to truly consider his options there.
I'm guessing Dipshit got on the headset with him and kind of was like, hey, this is a hardcore match. You do see the blood. I'm hoping you notice the landmines. These are all both things that are legal in this match, so it looks like they might have figured it out, kind of, maybe they'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's that untraditional offense of Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi. He came in here at first, was kind of I don't want to say karate man. He really did a lot of kicks, a lot of strikes, a lot of MMA influence moves, and is now, between the chair thing and the testicular claw, really trying something new here. Oh, look, a karate kick. I was right. Somehow. Oh my gosh! Nailing him with the kick on the side of the head. I was joking. That finished the match for Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi.
I mean, and we didn't even see the testicular claw. I mean, we don't know what is under Lucifer's helmet or what's inside of his pants, and we will have to wait another day to find that out.
And folks, yeah, that was a bowling shoe ugly match between those two. Ricky pulling out some untraditional offense. Double Dutch Doug Douglas blowing another call here, not really understanding what the rules of the match are. But you know what? I think it was still worth it. We have our final set, folks. We're not sure what show is going to be on yet, but the final round of the Hardcore title tournament will be between Tyler Blades, the man to get the first ever win in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, versus Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, a man who could not pick up a win until he entered this tournament.
Yeah, really interesting stories on both sides. Tyler Blades obviously, disappears, comes back, is wrecking another tournament. And then Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi, a guy who kind of turned it all around once he turned the N64 off. So very curious to see, how the tournament finishes out. Should be a fantastic finish. Both of those guys very well deserving of the Hardcore title tournament.
Absolutely agree with you. But turning our attention to this next match, we're going to have a non-title match between our tag team title champions Supreme, Mark Mello and Zeus Williams, versus the Exotic Husbands, Lavernius Bimson and Mandy Hamilton. Two people who have not had a ton of success in tag action, but are maybe trying to prove themselves here tonight and close this sort of wide open division that we have in tag wrestling.
Yeah, a really interesting match. We've seen a little bit of, the Exotic Husbands. We've seen Lavernius and Mandy in different matches. And it'll be curious to see how they work together in a tag setting. We've seen them in a 3-man tag match. This is very different from that, a two tag match. And then, obviously, against the title holders, they have obviously got their work cut out for them here tonight.
Definitely agree with you here, War and Peace. But not going to take up too much more of your time. It looks like the ring has finally been reset after all of these bloody hardcore matches, and we are ready to deliver some classic Slaughterhouse wrestling right to you.
And, Johnny, I got to say, it is kind of weird that we didn't see... Oh, looks like we're having a little snafu on our end. If you'll just give us one moment, folks. Double Dutch is still kind of trying to figure things out. He's getting a little confused after these hardcore matches. Kind of interesting how they kind of play out, but looks like they're kind of getting everything settled up here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to give this one more shot. And folks, it looks like we're actually going to get this underway now. Traditional wrestling match. I am so glad to see it after those last 3 violent matches.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not too sure what Lavernius and Mandy are going for here tonight, taking on the tag team champions in their first tag match as a team. They have interesting decision by them. Mark and Zeus have obviously made a name for themselves by just wrecking other people in the ring. More established tag teams, I should say. So this is obviously going to be a very short match or a very interesting match.
Absolutely, Warren. And I do want to point out that this is actually not, I'm sorry to correct you here, this is actually not the first time these two men have teamed together. I think this may be their first match in a two-person tag team, but they did tag in a trios match against Ricky, Marty, and Jason of the Bankrollers at Slaughterhouse 4 and found success there. They were able to get the win in that 6-man situation. So who knows, they might want to, try again and do a little better this time and prove themselves as just a duo.
And Lavernius is starting out strong, putting the moves on Zeus out there.
Oh, but Zeus able to capitalize here, knocking Lavernius off of his feet and going to try to go for that double axe handle right to the back of his head. Zeus knows that Lavernius has this sort of amateur wrestling background. He can roll you around on the mat. He can take you off your feet just like that right there. And once you are down, that is kind of his playground. The strategy there is to keep him off of his feet and make sure that you don't fall into that trap. And I think Zeus knows that.
Yeah, obviously there's one thing you can say about these guys. Supreme does a lot of, planning for their tag matches. They have never once not looked dominant in a tag match together. So something that they have done is establish this run of dominance that, besides Walnut, who's won in some very questionable matches, even Walnut, I'd say that Supreme's dominance has looked more impressive to me.
Oh, I think I totally agree with you there. Supreme, I can't even remember how many of their matches have ended in some sort of knockout victory. They are powerful men, and they always run roughshod over whoever they wrestle. It's never really been a contest. But the Exotic Husbands are here, after a little taste of victory in a trios match, are here to try to prove them wrong. And God bless them. I hope the best, but I don't know if they got it in them.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've really gotten to see some action from Mandy. It's been a minute since they joined Slaughterhouse Wrestling, so I'm curious what they can do against someone like Supreme, as they just take them kicks to the gut and take both guys down.
Ooh, big body slam there from Mandy, shooting Mello out right to our table. And we put the weapons away for a reason. Come on.
And, I should say, both hardcore matches, no weapons were actually picked up and used by wrestlers. And in the first match that's not a hardcore match, we have someone go after a kendo stick.
God bless the wrestlers here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. They all have so much brain damage. I don't know what's going on half the time.
Yeah, all I know is Chief Dave is loving it here tonight. Still get that front row seat. Obviously, got a little bit of blood on him from the Dank match, but he looks like he's loving it. Probably got a little bit of demon goo on him also from Lucifer.
Ooh, big crescent kick there from Mark Mello right onto that blood spot like you were talking about. And we're seeing this kendo stick kind of used a lot as, not necessarily as a weapon, but part of the environment. These men are taking bumps right onto it. Oh, and Mark going up for a Tennessee Jam. I can't believe a man like that can do a move like that, Warren.
The agility shown by Mark. We talk about SDO. We talked about Nightmare earlier, and he's going back up again. I don't even know what to say. Mark is, you don't see agility from a guy that size. The kicks, the height he can get.
And Bimson having to come save his teammate, almost a 3 count there. Mandy going up top, showing Mello that he is not the only person in this match who is familiar with the high rent district. And tagging out to Bimson, smart call there.
Yeah, and Bimson's going to do his best against Mark. Obviously, one thing we could talk about is just the size difference in both of these teams. Mandy, obviously, a little bit closer in size. It's both of the men in Supreme. Bimson, looking like there's about a foot difference between the two of them.
Mello getting the pin on Lavernius, not as easy that time. Lavernius a little more fresh, but still taking some of those hard shots. Got that toe hold too, that spinning toe hold. Bimston able to get a couple suplexes in here and there, those quick suplexes we expect from him. They don't look like much, but they really add up fast for him.
Yeah, if there's anything you could be saying about Lavernius is he gets those moves in so quick, so much offense. Every 10 seconds he's in the ring. As Mark is going back up again. Nope, decides against it. But Lavernius has just got some agility. I mean, it's kind of weird to say both of these guys are the agility on their teams, but Mark is fast, and Lavernius is probably one of the quickest guys we have here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, as he could just get about 3 moves in the same time that any other wrestler could get in one.
Oh, absolutely. That is an amateur wrestling background, just helping him out. Amateur wrestling, I don't know if people realize this, is so fast. Those falls are decided so quickly. And when you translate those skills into a wrestling ring, that just means quick suplexes, quick shots, quick hits, quick dives, quick everything.
And that is because he's showing Mark Mello, showing him that amateur wrestling background, seeing if he can get a little bit of a, step up on him. And Zeus comes right in and tries to go for the pin, but Mandy getting there in time to kind of put a boot in Zeus's face there.
And escaping the suplex there with a German of his own on the big man. Lavernius is not a big dude, but he has a lot of power for his stature.
And, honestly, we talked about it, obviously the experience versus the slightly less experience, but Lavernius and Mandy are looking pretty damn good out there against the tag team champions.
Oh, of course. They had some real success in that trios match with Walnut. Obviously, Walnut, the powerhouse of the Exotic Husbands, the powerhouse of this entire company. But the two of them, no slouch either. What is this from Bimson? Bimson getting suplexed on the outside by Zeus. Huge slam. Destroying the back. And Zeus picking up a weapon and trying to use it. This is absolute chaos, Warren.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how this is going to end, but I don't think it can end well. As obviously the legal legal wrestlers being Lavernius and Zeus, it looks like. Zeus is hopefully not getting the count out. Very close to the count out there.
So close, Warren. And you see there Mandy jumping on the ropes, taunting the other wrestlers as Bimson is getting slammed. Not sure what the strategy is there, but Bimson is bleeding. I can't even tell you how many matches we've seen so much carnage in today, folks. This is a bloodier show than I am used to here at Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and that's saying something.
Yeah, we've seen obviously the hardcore matches, but this match has kind of, been one of the strongest matches we've seen. Obviously a lot of action going on outside of the ring, and those bloodstains, obviously aren't going anywhere. Chief Dave, he said he likes it bloody, obviously, and that's what he's going to kind of keep the ring looking bloody for the rest of the night. That's what he likes. That's what he wants to see.
Oh, of course. Normally we change out the mats in between each match. We want to make sure that no one transfers any diseases by blood. We want to make sure everything is sanitary, especially, in the modern times. But hey, Chief Dave's paying the bills today, so screw it. We're going to leave it out there, and we're going to leave everything to chance. And I'm sorry, I'm talking over this. A third elbow from Mandy Hamilton, right in a row. Not enough. Getting hit with 3 power bombs for their trouble. Wow. 3 on 3 there, Warren.
And Lavernia is coming out just in time to break the pin and coming in and taking down both members of Supreme. As Mandy will kind of try to turn things in the ring around with Zeus. Obviously these two have been kind of giving it to each other for a hot minute. It drops the drop kick on him, but Zeus will not take that lying down.
Oh no, these two people are absolutely going at it in the ring, Warren. Oh, big DDT from Mandy there, trying to capitalize on it. And we're at the point in the match where even Supreme has to send in their second person to break up those pins. They know this is a do or die moment. This is crucial. Oh, big Blue Thunder Bomb, style move there from Zeus to Mandy. Mandy has got to tag out here.
Yeah, both teams need to get their other tag team partner in the ring. They are both exhausted out there. Zeus looking like he can hardly stand, and Mandy doing everything they can to really keep going.
Both people down here in this match. Zeus and Mandy here, I can't even describe the kind of athleticism going on here. But Zeus going for that second suplex on the outside. Oh my God, now on both members of the Exotic Husbands. Jesus Christ.
Lavernius has decided about going outside of the ring and getting involved, as him and Mark are kind of dazed together in the ring.
Oh, Canadian Destroyer and a light tube getting put into play here. Hopefully Double Dutch Doug Douglas can get some order. I don't know if he didn't see that or what. It looked like his back was turned, but that light tube broke over Mandy Hamilton's body, swung with pinpoint accuracy there. And what is this? Oh my God, Warren, the Tower of Doom.
Not something you see very often here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. I mean, I've come to expect anything from Supreme, but even that was pretty fantastic.
God, this is what we expect from Supreme. These insane athletic moves, these bombs being thrown to each other. This has gotta hurt.
Yeah, Mandy really not taking it, too badly. Kind of going right back at Zeus, going for the pin, but you can't really be doing that pin that close to Mello. It looks like they might have a chance to come out of this match with a W, but they have really kind of got to get their strategy together and work out where they can pin and when they need to pin.
I am shocked Mandy is on their feet right now, Warren, and they're delivering shots. That was a hard elbow right to the dome piece of Zeus, and that sidewalk slam. They took those shots and came back, and an elbow drop.
Yeah, this is just something I don't think any of us expected. It looks like, almost a 3 count. Zeus somehow kicks out of it.
So close to being the end for Supreme.
And Zeus will get the 3 count. Lavernius does not make it into the ring in time to break it up.
And that's how it goes for Supreme. That is why they are the tag champions, Warren.
Yeah, you have got that right. And honestly, Exotic Husbands, they do not need to feel bad. Mandy and Lavernius both put on a fantastic match. I think You know, if anything you could be said to kind of detract away from their fantastic match, Mandy, I think, stayed a little bit too long in the ring. Lavernius was a little bit better rested and could have come out and maybe made a difference. Same with Supreme, to be fair, though. Mark definitely could have used, they could have used that hot tag.
Oh, of course. But here's what I will say, Warren. There is still no challenger for the tag titles. There are just not that many tag teams here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, I'm sad to say. But the Exotic Husbands tonight proved that they are a good, great, amazing tag team. And you know, once they start wrestling other teams, maybe Behold a Dark Horse, maybe the Bankrollers, maybe some Lone Wolves want to team up together, somebody will be in the mix there. Once they start gelling together and really getting their game together, they are going to be a force to reckon with, and they will get that title shot against Supreme one day.
Yeah, and this next match of the evening is one I'm looking forward to, but I'm also not looking forward to, is Jason Waterfalls puts his position here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling on the line, puts his career on the line here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling as he takes on one of his own, as Big Money Marty is giving him his chance to win and earn his seat at the table in the Bankrollers.
Yeah, Warren, this Jason put his career on the line for one more match. If he loses, he is gone from the Slaughterhouse. And Marty believes that he is doing Jason a favor. Jason has lost every single singles match he has had and some tag matches. Marty believes that Jason is going to kill himself out there. He is going to get injured. He's going to fall on his head. He's going to break his neck. He is going to die in that ring. So he needs to put Old Yeller down while he can. Folks, I'm scared to see it, but I'm excited to see it. Let's get to it. Big Money Marty versus Don't Go Jason Waterfalls, with Jason Waterfalls' career on the line.
Big Money Marty obviously coming out sporting his trademark green and white trunks. Fantastic eyebrow style. He's kind of come to be known for here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Of course, and I would like to remind the fans at home, Big Money Marty not getting a lot of wins either. He got his first ever singles win last show against Dank Poopstain in what I thought was an absolutely incredible match. Going out there, giving it his all, finally getting a win on the board, and realizing what that taste of victory really tastes like. How the crowd sounds, how it feels, even how it smells, Warren. He knows what victory is like. And that locker room cannot laugh at Big Money Marty anymore. They can't say he's a loser. They can't say he can't win a match. They can't even say he can't buy a victory to save his life.
Yeah, and obviously on the other side of things, Don't Go Jason Waterfalls wearing, in traditional sense, what we call the Alabama tuxedo. You know, wearing his trademark jorts, but wearing that denim vest also.
Of course, his most formal denim vest for a very important match tonight. And I don't even know if you noticed, the first move of this match was a punch to the dick. The thing that Big Money Marty said he was saving Jason Waterfalls from, he did off the bat just to prove him right. And oh my god, the surfboard submission into the crossface, one of Big Money Marty's moves that he taught Jason Waterfalls early on, a move that they have shared a distinct love for. God, already, emotions running high, Warren.
Yeah, both of these guys obviously not willing to leave anything in the ring as they try to express themselves through action, through wrestling.
Oh, and the strike exchange, Big Money Marty just slapping him across the chest, telling him what's up, hoping that it just gives up early, but Jason Waterfall's too strong to fall for that.
Another spinning lariat from him as he'll go right back to those submissions, you know, those locks, those roll-ups. I mean, Don't Go Jason Waterfalls, say what you will, but this guy is technical as forged in fire. I mean, he's got some, he's obviously got the training.
Yeah, and this match is so fast-paced, Warren. These two men are fighting each other. This isn't even a wrestling match at this point. This is two men just trying to prove a point to each other as brothers.
Yeah, and obviously there is so much history between these two guys. You know, they came up together, they've trained together for years. Jason will get an interesting pin, something I don't think I've seen before. What kind of pin was that, Johnny?
I'm not even sure. I saw a mousetrap variation a little while ago. Jason, and I know he's a big fan of the ghetto clutch as well. Jason is a big fan of those fancy technical pins that he thinks that give him that leg up. They're hard to get out of. And not like Big Money Marty there, just stacking his legs up there. Two very distinct styles. Yes, that is the mousetrap pin right there, I believe. But yeah, those pins are so hard to get out of compared to just a normal wrestling pin, and that's the kind of stuff that Jason thrives on.
Yeah, and he'll kind of go back to his bread and butter, just nothing but pure offense and then just locks. This is what he knows. This is what he can do. And Big Marty Marty is going to introduce his bald head to those ropes, as he mentioned this earlier. He mentioned that big old bald head of Jason Waterfall.
Oh, of course. I think the exact word was shit for brains, bald-headed baby. He said that the locker room had been calling him that, and he is driving that elbow right into that bald baby head. Yeah, God, Big Money Marty just fighting out here, using these moves like those tactics on the ropes, that kind of running the elbow across the head. Not fancy wrestling tactics, not the stuff that Jason Waterfalls likes, but just trying to hurt him and prove a point right now.
Yeah, both these guys obviously not going to let down an inch until Double Dutch calls this match. Commissioner Dipshit is watching eagerly from backstage. I know he does not want to lose Jason Waterfalls, and I know in some level Marty would like for him to stay. I know he says everything he does, but I think he's going to hate not seeing him every day at the Big Money Gym. As he'll get a nice roll-up pin real quick, kicks out in two.
Very fancy roll-up there, Warren. These two men running at each other, wearing each other out. That diving clothesline from Jason Waterfalls. And he goes right back to the knees on the head. I believe that's the third or fourth time we've seen that maneuver in this match. And as much as we're talking about how technical Jason Waterfall's style is, and as much as he loves those fancy maneuvers, there is nothing more straightforward and dirtier than just some knees to the head.
Yeah, and honestly, he's going to keep attacking it, and he's going to keep going for those submissions on the head.
Oh my God, the backslide. All of that misdirection. Almost getting the 3 count.
Wow, Jason Waterfalls is coming out ready to go tonight.
And another gory special right to the knees of Big Money Marty there. Jason Waterfalls going for broke, going for a third one here. Big Money Marty is in trouble, Warren. Oh, maybe he's not. It's that big money strategy. Just cheating, getting anything you can in, and now he is on top again.
Just a kick to the dick. It's say what you want about the bankrollers. There's so much you can be said, but there's some dirty moves. They got some dirty moves up their sleeves, and they don't mind using them. And Jason Waterfalls is kind of coming out here the other way. Just putting the pure offense.
Of course, that gory special represents more than just a move to the knees. That is a time-honored tradition. Gory Guerrero's special move. Time-honored wrestling family, time-honored tradition. Jason Waterfalls respects the wrestling tradition more than anything. He's never jibed with the bankrollers on that level of just wanting to go out there and cheat, win by any means necessary. He loves wrestling, and he wants to prove it here tonight.
Yeah, and Big Money Marty's just not letting up on that bald head of his. He has clearly got an issue with it, and I'm not too sure what he wants Jason Waterfalls to do about it.
Oh, Jason, big swing and a miss there, but landing the European uppercut. Marty down, only 11 minutes and some change into this match, and both men hurting for him.
And that move, just now, we watched Jason Waterfalls just stare down at Marty, just looking at him, just thinking, what am I supposed to do? I want to show you I've got what it takes, but
My God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you there. But that pile driver trapping one arm back there. A new maneuver for Marty. And oh my God, spilling out in front of us again. Jason Waterfalls is down, and Marty with a plancha. Never seen this level of offense from Big Money Marty in my entire life, Warren.
And a pile driver on this concrete floor. Chief Dave, he talked about it to us before. He said he hoped he got to see some action outside of the ring, as both of these guys are having trouble getting back up after all of those moves, that both of them are back in the ring. And you got to think, Don't Go Jason needs to kind of turn it around, because Marty's going to keep going after those dick punches.
Of course, he does not mind fighting dirty, and Jason might need to come to terms with that fact and stop trying to just out-wrestle a man who does not even wrestle.
Yeah, this is something I don't think we expected out of this. You know, Don't Go Jason Waterfall's coming out here looking like one of the strongest wrestlers here in Slaughterhouse as he takes him to the
spinning roll-up pin. Jason Waterfalls gets
Jason has done it.
Those fancy maneuvers, all of that time spent in the gym, studying the tape, perfecting the moves, studying the history of professional wrestling has paid off in this match, Warren. Jason Waterfalls gets to keep his career and finally gets his first career win over Big Money Marty.
In the Alabama tuxedo, no less. Kind of showing Slaughterhouse not only can he win, but he doesn't have to do it dirty. We didn't see a single infinite gaze out there. How many gory specials did we see? He gave it to Marty left and right, and he came out on top to show the bankrollers he's got what it takes to wrestle here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Could not agree with you more there, Warren. Wow, that was emotional. That was a clash of styles, a quick match, but that is exactly what it needed to be. Jason Waterfalls is a wrestler's wrestler.
Yeah, and after tonight, you got to think. I mean, obviously, his first win here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, but I just see this next pay-per-view. I feel like he has a chance to really start making a name for himself, kind of start racking up some wins and moving up that rankings board, because that was a damn good win right there.
Yeah, definitely, Warren. Wow, and Marty should not be ashamed of that performance as well. Both men giving it their absolute all, and having one of the best matches of either of their careers. Even in losses, Jason has always looked strong against guys like David Sky or Walnut or whoever. But this was a match you can take to the bank, pun intended.
Yeah, and honestly, I know the bankrollers are still looking for that new member, but it looks like they finally, they're not going to have 3 people to vote. They're going to have 4 people to vote on if someone joins the bankrollers after tonight. And I think they're going to be listening to what Jason Waterfalls has to say.
Definitely agree with you. But speaking of the bankrollers tryout match, Thomas Noble will be in this match wrestling Jabroni, Dong, and Victor Hill. 4 men going at it in a 4-way elimination match. The last man standing will be the #1 contender for Walnut's World Heavyweight Championship title.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't want to keep this. I don't want to keep us from seeing this match any longer. Let's get these guys out here and let's get this going.
And folks, this match is going to be absolutely chaotic. We might lose control of it a couple times on commentary, but we appreciate you sticking with us through it. But we can promise you that this is going to be completely action-packed.
Yeah, and honestly, Jabroni, first one coming out to the ring. We recently got to see him take on Walnut in one of the longest matches we've seen Walnut in. The closest I feel like we ever thought that Walnut might actually lose that match.
Yeah, definitely. We thought Damon Sky had it, but Damon Sky couldn't do it, and then Jabroni came out, took Walnut to the limit, seemed to have, a real strategy for that match. Still couldn't put it together, though, but like I said in our pre-show, he's been in the ring with Walnut. To my knowledge, he's the only one of these 4 men who has had a singles match with Walnut. He knows exactly what that is like, what that feels like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, and he knows that if he gets one more shot at it, he's learned enough to take him down. And that is exactly what he is fighting for here tonight.
Yeah, you got that right, Johnny, but at the same time, the other 3 guys in this ring here tonight are not going to make it so easy for him. Every one of these guys could be a potential title holder, I feel, in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. I feel like any one of them would be a deserved champion, and they would put on a fantastic match with Walnut regardless of the outcome.
Oh, absolutely. As far as, great Walnut matches I want to see, Dong Michaels is up there. That sort of athleticism, that sort of showmanship, and that sort of game planning that Dong does better than some other wrestlers here in the Slaughterhouse really would set that match apart from other matches. And hey, even a Thomas Noble match, that is 2 huge dudes just slamming each other. You know what I mean? That would be an absolutely fantastic match.
And Double Dutch is down already as Jabroni has thrown Dong right into the referee. I'm not too sure what might happen from here on out, but I bet it's going to be complete chaos.
And folks, there are slams all over the place. Men going down on each other. We don't even know what's happening here. So much action, Warren. I almost keep wanting to call you Walla because that's another friend of mine. And there's just so much going on that it's hard for me to focus on this. And it looks like Double Dutch Douglas is now bleeding. We've had someone bleeding in almost every single match at the Slaughterhouse tonight.
Yeah, Janet obviously is worth every single penny to Slaughterhouse Wrestling. And it looks like Jabroni's kind of giving it to Victor there in the corner. You kind of get going as these guys have kind of paired off. Looks like Thomas is going to be going after Dong, and Victor and Jabroni are going to kind of have their own little match. As Thomas Noble can still struggling to hit this spear. You know, he is... I'm not too sure what to say about it. You know, one match I feel like we saw him miss about 4 or 5 spears, and he's already missed 2 so far in this match here tonight. And Victor and Jabroni going at it. And now Noble's taking on Jabroni and Dong at the same time, and I'm not just sure how that'll work out for him in the long run. It looks like right now, Dong kind of gets out of it real quick and just switches his opponents. These guys can't decide who they want to fight and who they don't want to fight. Victor showing that terrifying strength, picking up Jabroni over his head and just dropping him to the mat. Throwing Jabroni right into Dong as Noble will take Dong down on his own. What a fantastic match so far. I mean, I'm glad these guys, none of them are bleeding just yet. I have to say, I have to feel like it's going to come this way.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Warren. I would be shocked if someone does not bleed in this match. But, oh, big jumping brainbuster there from Dong to Victor Hill. As we see Jabroni taking on kind of his more traditional style. A little more old school, a little more showman-y. And getting that sort of, I think that was like a splits knee on the back of Thomas Noble's head. I'm sorry, folks. I am normally the play-by-play announcer, and I'm going to try my best to call some of this, but it is tough.
And there's a lot going on here in the ring. It's kind of hard to keep up with a good bit of the action, but it looks like Jabroni and Thomas Noble are going to team up for the first move of the night together.
Yeah, that's how you see some of these matches go. Allegiances will be formed in that ring, even between warring factions, just because they need to get a leg up. That's the benefit of an elimination match. As long as you can be the last man standing, it doesn't matter who falls before you.
Yeah, and honestly, out of all these people in the ring, I feel like Dong and, Victor might have there's not too much grudge, I feel like, in this match, as of, besides them all wanting to take on Walnut. But Dong definitely has an issue with Supreme's other faction members, having fought them in a tag title match and coming out on the losing side of that.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Warren. That's really one of the bigger stories going into this match, besides each man's, drive to win and drive to be the best. But that's sort of the benefit of a match like this. Slaughterhouse Wrestling is definitely a promotion based on the wrestlers, based on feuds, emotions, anger, drive. But sometimes just seeing 4 men you didn't think would be in a match together, and just seeing how that goes is great.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously this is something we've never seen before here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, and it is just pure chaotic energy as Dong is doing everything he can to kind of separate himself from everyone else, as he's just giving it to Victor so far. But Noble, Jabroni in some kind of lock down there.
Oh, Jabroni's leg being worked over by Noble, and then Vic. Smart call from both of them, kind of playing off of each other. Dong trying to get it.
Double Dutch a little occupied waiting for that tap out. Didn't even notice the pin.
Yeah, God bless Double Dutch. He's really getting his paycheck tonight.
Going for the count, and Victor kicks out at 2. Dong was trying to kind of get that first elimination out of the way quick, and Jabroni will go after Noble as well, only the 1 count. Pins early and often, Johnny.
That is the way you have to do it, Warren. You don't want this match to go on for too long, because once you are in there, 1v1, 25 minutes have passed, you are worn out. You have been wrestling 3 other men for 25 minutes at that point. You have taken more shots than you know what to do, and that's just not a situation you want to end up in.
Yeah, and all these guys, they don't want to be the odd one out. They see these pins happen, and they're going to try to interfere as often as possible So Double Dutch, he's really got his work cut out for him as he tries to officiate here, obviously with the already bloodied up head.
And speaking of breaking up pins, one thing we haven't talked about a lot is that if Thomas Noble gets a single elimination in this match, he will be entered into the Bankrollers tryout match. Bad Man won his match against Black Snow, so he is qualified. As long as Thomas Noble gets one elimination, he will be in that match and fight for a shot to join what is now a very winning faction here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling.
Yeah, kind of turned things around. The Bankrollers have those checks finally, those stock options finally started, getting interest.
Oh, double teaming there from Dong and Vic, former rivals, like you said, at least faction-wise, teaming up together. But Thomas Noble with that gorilla press just slamming Dong down. And God, you can see that Thomas Noble is winded, Wallace. Wallace?
Yeah.
Warren? Wallop? I don't know your name.
Yeah, whatever you want to call me, Johnny, I'll take it, honestly. I mean, I prefer Warren, that's what my mama named me, but almost a 3 count early on right here, 12 minutes in, and it looks like we're close to losing our first competitor.
Oh, running power slam there as Jabroni hits the ocular pat down on Victor Hill. Not enough to get the 3, but the knee bar on Dong at the same time. Good God, big moves everywhere, Warren.
And honestly, we've seen what Jabroni can do, and Victor kind of taking a good bit of a beating here so far in this match. He kind of looks like he might be the first one to be going.
But Thomas Noble delivering that big super kick. I don't know. I honestly could not call it right now as to who will be the first person eliminated. Every man is tired, but every man is already giving it their biggest moves they have.
And Noble just really going after everyone he can's legs, but it doesn't look like anybody's really going to let too much happen anytime anybody tries to get a move going. Punch to the back of the head, punch to the back of the head.
Good long-term strategy, though, I gotta say. If you take someone's legs out, they aren't going to be standing in minute 30 of this match.
Yeah, you've got that right. And Noble getting a little tired of it, just giving a lariat to take down Dong a second ago. It looks like they'll separate again, and Dong will go for the pin on Victor.
Only a 2 count. Wow, 15 minutes into this match, and Dong still has that kind of stamina. That is impressive, Warren.
These guys really look like they're giving the crowd what they want, as they're giving a point, kind of trying to get them, riled up here.
Oh, this crowd is loving this match. We haven't talked about the crowd much on this show, but I don't know if Chief Dave got his friends in the audience, or that we just have a big Slaughterhouse presence in Portland, or what. But this crowd is absolutely on their feet. All 300 of them, maybe 300. That's what I was told to say.
Yeah, Chief Dave is he's giving us a nod. He wants us to say 300. We're not, 300. We're going to say 300 people are in this arena right now.
An Emerald Flosion on Thomas Noble from Victor Hill. No pin there, opting to get more offense on as Thomas runs into Dong. God, so much chaos in this match.
Yeah, a bit of confusion, honestly. I mean, I don't want it to inflect poorly, on any of these wrestlers, because obviously we've seen what all of these guys can do in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Just a little bit of a different situation, these matches.
Folks, we are almost in minute 20 of this match. All 4 men are still wrestling. Someone has got to make a pin or a submission soon.
Yeah, I expect we'll see it before too long. I think by minute 20 we'll have lost at least one competitor.
Ooh, Thomas Noble getting necked on the top rope. And Jabroni going for another ocular pat down, this time on Thomas Noble. Will it be enough? Thomas Noble is eliminated from the match first.
Looks like Noble might have blown his chances with the Bankrollers. We'll see what the Bankrollers decide after this match. Obviously a very outspoken group. They might have some things to say about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I cannot imagine a world where they are not either furious or glad. One or the other. But folks, we are down to just 3 men in this match. Jabroni, Dong Michaels, and Victor Hill, representing the Birds of War, Exotic Husbands, and Supreme, respectively. 3 of the best factions in the entire company. Another ocular pat down from Jabroni, as I'm mentioning that. Will he score the 3 again? Not quite.
It's going to take a lot to take Jabroni out of this, I feel like. I don't know who really has it in him to kind of take him down, as Victor goes for the pin on him. 2 count interrupted by Dong.
Dong saving Jabroni, maybe seeing a certain sort of kinship there, and going for his own elbow, maybe just to mock Jabroni a little bit. We know Dong loves that flying elbow, but there's got to be something.
Both of these guys interrupting each other's time with the crowd and kind of trying to get everyone fired up, and both of these guys didn't get the memo as one kicks him to the back and the other two run into each other. So
I'm laughing, but can you imagine getting run into in the back of your head by a 220-pound man? That hurts. That is... I don't want to say it's an effective strategy, but it sure is one.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. And Jabroni try to take out 2 birds with 1 stone, as it were. You know, being a bird of war, obviously that probably isn't what he wants to do. But let's just sit here and kind of watch as Victor takes Dong for a spin, and then just
airplane spin, taking Dong out. Submission on the airplane spin. Jabroni hitting the ocular pad down, opting to move Dong and pin a man who is not even in the match anymore. Dong making his way out of the ring. Oh, I'm not sure what the strategy there was from Jabroni.
I mean, he's the only guy here who has fought Walnut recently, so I'm going to kind of go with him on that one, as it's down to just him and Victor. And very surprising, I feel like. You know, Victor was one of the guys getting a lot of damage earlier. He takes Jabroni down for the pin and gets the 3 count.
Running him off of both of the turnbuckles, slamming him in the middle of that bloody ring. Victor Hill taking home the win for Supreme. I did not expect this. The one man both of us counted out came back and won this match.
Very, very surprising turn of events there. Something I did not expect. Victor taking, I felt, was the most damage early on, and now Supreme has a chance to have their entire faction be title holders here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, as he will have his chance at the title taking on Walnut at the next pay-per-view.
Folks, that was an incredible match. I'm very glad to see that Commissioner Dipshit has wanted to spice things up here in Slaughterhouse a little bit. Wonderful 4-way contender match, and we will see both the finals of the Hardcore Tournament and Victor Hill versus Walnut sometime soon in the future. Folks, turning our attention to our main event here in Slaughterhouse 6 Cage-Free Meet. Finally going to see the final chapter of Damon Sky versus Chicago Cowboy.
Yeah, in this match, you know, both of these guys have been doing a lot of talking over the last few weeks, you know, kind of gearing up for this. The first ever cage match here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, is both guys kind of putting their legacy on the line in a way. I mean, Chicago Cowboy started out strong, kind of had a slow, a bit of a few bumps after that, kind of disappeared for a little while. But now you have Damon, a guy who's an established talent here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, who we're not even sure, you know, what his plan is. You know, will he be in the locker room tomorrow? Obviously, his contract is up tonight, so I'm not sure. You know, we have other competing, you know, companies that might try to scoop him up. But as of right now, we are unsure about Damon's status in the company, as he is going to be taking on Chicago Cowboy here tonight.
Yeah, Warren, just to catch everyone up on what's happened, Slaughterhouse's first event was a tournament for our top title, which Walnut won. He won that match in 3 minutes against the Chicago Cowboy. Chicago Cowboy got his rematch at Slaughterhouse 1 and lost in 6 minutes. Embarrassed, he took some time off, made his big return at Slaughterhouse 4, cutting a scathing promo on Damon Sky, challenging him to this match, Damon accepting at Slaughterhouse 5. Both men have absolutely everything to prove and everything to lose. Damon Sky said he's going to reach down in a much darker place in order to win this match, and Chicago Cowboy said he's going to give it everything he's got. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, folks. Thanks for being with us here at Slaughterhouse 6 Cage-Free Meet. Looks like our cage is set up, and we're going to start this main event match.
I cannot wait to see how this goes.
And folks, we are seeing a new Damon Sky here, something that he had previously called Demon Sky. The face paint, the new gear, the new attitude, something has taken over Damon Sky.
Yeah, and obviously it looks like, for lack of a better term, he's got some demons he needs to work out himself. And I mean, it's going to be tough because first he's got to take on Chicago Cowboy in this cage. But after that, he's obviously got another battle on his hands.
Of course, and we are seeing weapons scattered about the cage as well. That is something that Demon Sky actually asked for. Asked the commissioner if he could up the ante in this match because he wants to punish the Chicago Cowboy for calling him out. We'll see if that becomes a factor in this match. And folks, I gotta tell you, I've seen so much violence tonight. I've seen so much blood. I don't know if I can take much more of it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the match for you then, Johnny, because I mean, I'm not too sure where we go from here. I mean, Janet's been on standby. She is ready to go as soon as we need her, but we also have to get them out of the cage.
Of course, we haven't talked much about Janet tonight, but she has been on hand for every single match. And luckily she's been taking good care of our wrestlers. And God, giant swing there from Demon Sky, hitting the turnbuckle pad, and then the Scorpion Deathlock. And folks, if I'm remembering right, you can only win this match by escape. Demon Sky is just trying to wear the Chicago Cowboy down before he does it. You can see Double Dutch is just there to make sure everything goes according to plan and there to call the winner. He is not going to be there counting the pins, looking at the tap outs. He is just there to declare the winner.
And Chicago Cowboy, it's been a minute since we've seen him. Obviously, a much more traditional wrestler in his own. Demon Sky, obviously Demon Sky, I feel like would be more appropriate a term, to use for him tonight. Has obviously, going to have to fight the match Chicago Cowboy's way. He's going to have to do it his way if he wants to come out with the win. I mean, Cowboy is a very traditional guy. He's going to do it the old school way, and Demon might have to kind of switch his playbook to come out of this cage in one piece tonight.
Oh yeah, Chicago Cowboy comes from that playbook of Southern wrestling. Your Arn Andersons, your Tully Blanchards, your Dusty Rhodes, your Ric Flairs, all the way up to your James Storms, your Chris Harris, your Robert Roode, guys like that. That Memphis, Biloxi, Texas style of wrestling. And as much as we talk about how he's traditional, he loves his slams, he loves his holds, a lot of that tradition involves blood, it involves violence. And I don't really think this is too far out of the Chicago Cowboys' wheelhouse.
Yeah, you got that right. And I mean, he's putting a good bit of a beat down on him so far, but Demon Sky's going to kind of turn that around. Neither men really trying to go for the cage too much so far tonight.
Yeah, right now these two men are just trying to put the hurt on each other. Oh, big slam. Demon Sky back on his feet. Cowboy up again, hitting a variation of that move. Just trying to get Demon, off of his feet for long enough.
There's that bankroller in him right there. Kick to the dick. Classic bankroller move.
Just picking apart the dick like he's picking apart every other part of Demon Sky.
And you see that, we see that happen often in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. These guys obviously a good bit of brain damage, but, running into each other is something that we've seen happen pretty often here in Slaughterhouse. But when you run in Chicago Cowboy, no matter what happens to him, you're falling. He stays up. You fall down, he stays up.
Demon going for the head, just wrenching that neck back, trying to prove a point at this point, honestly. Oh, big gut wrench suplex there. These two men, both very strong, both just manhandling each other.
There's Chicago Cowboy showing off some of that power himself.
Maybe one of them will go for a weapon. We'll see here. And so far, no one has really used the weapons that have been on the ground, but maybe this is the match where someone will.
Yeah, we're still waiting for it. All these hardcore matches, we have yet to see too much action from the weapons. Obviously, Chicago Cowboy, not a big hardcore style kind of guy, much more traditional wrestler. I could see Demon looking really hard at that scythe, but it looks like, Chicago Cowboy's going to kind of stick to what he knows.
Yeah, and what he knows is just slamming Demon Sky on the ground over and over again. My God, belly to belly on the edge of the chair that time. Stomps to the gut for good measure. I am shocked.
Pretty close to that chair, too, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked the Demon's on his feet at all right now. Oh, big Stan Hansen-style lariat there. The elbows for good measure. One thing I will say about the Chicago Cowboy is that when he's up, he knows how to stay up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Johnny, yeah, I could not agree with you more there. He is definitely one of the stronger people we see here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Also, just a big guy in general. He stands over 6'5".
He's a big dude. We haven't seen him in a minute, so it's a little hard to remember. But yes, he is a very large man. And oh my god, you can see it right there. Chicago Cowboy going for the cage. Demon Sky on his back. And it looks like the Cowboy has done it.
In 11 minutes, no less, out of the cage, Chicago Cowboy coming in.
Not remember the rules to this match. Counting out Chicago Cowboy after he's won the cage match. But folks, we've shoot away double Dutch. Doug Douglas. We have seen a true winner in this match. Damon Sky reaching down deep within himself to find that darker path and could not get one over on the Cowboy.
A fantastic match from beginning to end. Cowboy kind of in control from the first bell, until his feet hit the outside of the cage. I do want to say I don't think we'll be seeing much of double Dutch from here on out. Made some questionable calls here tonight. Commissioner Dipshit probably will not enjoy that. But overall, Slaughterhouse 6, cage-free meat, fantastic pay-per-view overall. Johnny, match of the night, what are you thinking?
I almost want to say that four-way match because that was incredible. We saw so much action. We saw a surprise winner. But I have to give it up to Jason Waterfalls and Big Money Marty. So much emotion, so much technicality, so much physicality. That match, I'm sure the fans at home could notice, I was on my feet screaming at the end. I loved that match. What about you, Warren Peace?
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. The Big Money Marty versus Jason Waterfalls was fantastic. I think the crowd here really got into it. Even Chief Dave stood up for a second. Did not expect that. This man sat with his legs crossed the entire evening. That one had him on his feet. He could feel it himself. But me personally, I did enjoy Supreme versus the Exotic Husbands. I think the Exotic Husbands has another fantastic tag team on their hands that could potentially give Supreme a run for the money. Obviously came out with a loss here tonight, but I feel like if things could have fallen a little bit differently, they could have come out with the win, obviously in a non-title match, but the implications still were pretty huge.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Warren. We hopefully we'll see a little more tag team action at Slaughterhouse 7. Hopefully we'll see a real challenger for Supreme's titles come up. But I would like to point out something else. Speaking of wins, speaking of divisions, every single match the Bankrollers were in tonight, they won. Every single one of them had a Bankrollers winner. This stable went from one that could not buy a win to one that is on top of Slaughterhouse 6. And I'm excited to see how that shakes up the landscape here.
Yeah, I agree with you on one hand, but at the same time, two of them fought each other. So I don't want to, give too much to the Bankrollers. They have obviously turned things around here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling, coming out with 3 fantastic matches, 3 very strong wins. Jason Waterfalls has turned his position in the group to a position of strength. Big Money Marty has seen new vigor in this man. That's what he needed to see from him. He needed to know that every single night he wasn't going to be worried about his own partner in the ring, and we saw that here tonight. But let's not also forget about the whole Dark Horse, how fantastic they look. They did have one loss in there, but besides that, they had a pretty strong night themselves.
Absolutely. STO and Black Snow are a dominant tag team, but maybe STO and Nightmare are going to be the tag team now. Maybe they're going to take these singles wins and really turn them into something in the tag division. Or after this match, after this show, one of them might move up the rankings. We'll just have to see how things shake out. But yes, big night for underdogs, I would say, Warren. Big night for underdogs.
And I will say, the Dank versus STO match, you talked about STO a minute ago. That was also one of my highlights of the evening. Dank Poopstain is about as close as you can get to getting a singles victory without getting it, but still looking pretty strong. I think he surprised both of us tonight, putting on a fantastic match, showing some of that Iron Man status that I think he has going forward here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. This man doesn't stay down for long, and I can't wait to see where he goes from here.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there. And speaking of the Hold of Dark Horse, I want to give it up to Badman and his match against Black Snow. We, first time we've seen Badman here in a ring. Great street fighter, great indie wrestler, and he really made a name for himself here. He really impressed me, and I'm pretty sure he impressed someone of the Bankrollers as well.
Yeah, you got that right, Johnny. And also, the next pay-per-view, we have some fantastic stuff coming y'all's way at Slaughterhouse 7. We have the finals of the Hardcore Tournament. We have Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi in a surprising turn of events, winning 2 matches to make it to the finals. I know that sounds strange, winning 2 matches, but that's a pretty big deal for him and the Bankrollers. And on the other hand, Tyler Blades coming back into Slaughterhouse Wrestling stronger than ever with a fantastic win over Forged in Fire champion. My sneaky pick for the winner of the entire tournament, taking him down in just 13 minutes, getting to take on Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi in the final of the tournament to make our first ever hardcore champion here in Slaughterhouse Wrestling. Fantastic match on the next card. Also, you've got Victor Hill going to be taking on Walnut sometime in the next few weeks. Also going to be an amazing match in its own right.
100% agree with you there, Warren. Tyler Blades winning the first ever match in Slaughterhouse on a win streak now in the Hardcore Championship. Going to give Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi a run for his money. I personally love watching Tyler Blades matches. I also really enjoy Ricky Big Bucks Biloxi's unorthodox style, and I'm really excited to see how the power of Tyler Blades, that muscle that we talked about, those slams, those hard hits, are going to gel with Ricky's stranger style, to put it that way. And when you put them in an environment like whatever Commissioner Dipshit is going to cook up for the finals, God, I can't wait to see it. But yes, yeah. I'm also excited about, just to respond to the other thing you said, I'm also excited to see Victor Hill versus Walnut, 2 powerful guys going at it. Going to be an amazing match. And Victor Hill, I counted him out, but now that I'm thinking about it, might be finally the one to crack the nut.
You could not have said it better, Johnny. And I just want to take a second, kind of close this out. I want to thank all the fans here at Chief Dave's Custom Slaughterhouse Arena here in Portland, Oregon. We had some 250 to 300 loud, ravenous fans on their feet for most of the evening. From Slaughterhouse Wrestling, I've been Warren Peace here with Johnny Napkins. We want to wish all of you a great night and a great evening.
Have a good night, folks.